I think Google is really taking advantage of a lot of people, and I think that's a very serious thing, and it's a very serious charge.
President Trump wants an investigation into one of the world's largest internet companies. His attack on Google started this morning with these two tweets. Quote, Google search results for Trump News shows only the viewing reporting of fake news media. In other words, they have it rigged for me and others so that almost all stories and news is bad. Fake CNN is prominent. Republican, conservative, and fair media is shut out. Illegal? 96% of results on Trump News are from national left-wing media. Very dangerous. Google and others are suppressing voices of conservatives and hiding information and news that is good. They are controlling what we can and cannot see. This is a very serious issue, will be addressed. And as you just heard there, it's not just Google in Trump's crosshairs.
I think what Google and what others are doing, if you look at what's going on at Twitter, if you look at what's going on in Facebook, they better be careful, because you can't do that to people. You can't do it. We have literally thousands and thousands of complaints coming in, and you just can't do that. So I think that Google and Twitter and Facebook, they're really treading on very, very troubled territory, and they have to be careful. It's not fair to large portions of the population.
Google fired back in a statement saying, in part, Google search is not used to set a political agenda, and we don't bias our results toward any political ideology. All right, with us for more on this is Shannon Pettypiece, White House correspondent for Bloomberg. Shannon, 96% of results of that search are liberal, according to the president. I'm not sure where he got that information from. It doesn't seem to be the result of any meaningful study.
No, there has not been any meaningful study, and part of the explanation for that might be because he considers liberal media to be essentially all major news organizations at this point. He's talking about NBC News, CNN, The Washington Post, The New York Times, ABC News he's thrown in there before. So if you're talking about, those are some of the world's biggest news organizations, certainly the biggest news organizations in this country that have very large reporting staffs. They produce an enormous amount of content. So those, though, are the organizations he's lumping in together as liberal news organizations.
I mean, look, he's the interesting part about what the president has to say here is that the algorithms for Facebook and Google are not transparent. So we don't actually know what causes these things to come up. But apparently the president was citing something that Lou Dobbs said that seemed to have reference to somebody who put two computers near each other and tested them both out. I mean, we really, I'd welcome a real study about how these search results come up, but two computers isn't it.
Well, and I mean, I'm not an expert in search engine optimization, but anybody who has done a Google search probably knows that you get oftentimes the most relevant results. You get results from a website that gets a lot of traffic. And this allegation the president was making seems to be saying that search engine optimization, this technology that's been around for decades and is, really the backbone behind Google and Yahoo and other search engines, is somehow biased against him personally. That has no merit at all in how this technology works.
So I guess one of the things that we have to think about here, look, when I search on Google, I get results that come from Fox News and the Wall Street Journal and even Breitbart. So I don't know what the president's on about here, but he did say something very interesting. It'll be dealt with, or it'll be addressed. On one hand, we are having a very active discussion about whether Congress should be involved in regulating social media because of some of the problems we've seen since the election. On the other hand, it seems to sound a little different when the White House sort of says it will be addressed.
Right, or when the president says so, makes these statements in the Oval Office. In that video clip that you just said, it carries some weight with it. The White House seemed to be caught flat-footed about this today when very early in the morning I started asking people about it. A group of us reporters caught Larry Kudlow in the driveway and asked him about it. He said, all he would say is it's something we're looking into.
In fact, let me play that. I've got that for you. This is Larry Kudlow talking about Google.
Does the president believe, or does the administration feel that there needs to be some form of regulation for Google, or what exactly was the president referring to?
We'll let you know. We're taking a look at it. We'll let you know.
Is the president aware that that idea originated in a story on Russian media during the campaign? It's been discredited.
Which media? Russian media?
The
Campaign?
Google censoring search results.
This is above my pay grade.
It's above his pay grade. I guess it may be above both of our pay grades.
Well, he is chief economic advisor, so I think the only person above his pay grade is the president. He did go on to say also that this vague thing about we're doing some investigations and analyses, no one else in the White House seemed to know what was going on. So it was certainly another instance, as our reporting indicates, where the president caught his staff blindsided. But like we saw, I mean, with these other accusations in the past, like, millions of illegal votes, sometimes the White House ends up having to now create some investigation to support a claim that the president made based off of a news article that someone shared with him or something that he heard late at night on TV.
Shannon, I never like to not take advantage of the fact that you, like me, have a background in economics reporting. The president has been touting this deal with Mexico. He said it's not going to be NAFTA anymore. It's going to be the U.S.-Mexican trade agreement, USMCA. But a lot of people, including the Mexican president, seem to think that Canada needs to be involved in this. Canada, I know, has its representatives in Washington this week, and everybody's trying to hammer out a deal by Friday. Where do you think we stand with this?
We did not get any indications that any significant progress was made today based on our reporting. Yeah, the Canadians have really dug in their heels here. And then as a surprise, because a year ago, most of us reporters covering this thought Mexico would be the difficult partner to negotiate with. And it has been surprising to see how far apart Trudeau and this White House have become over this issue. Of course, yes, you need Canada to be in part of this. Canada is the U.S.'s biggest trading partner. And when you go to some of these states like Michigan, swing states, Ohio, Minnesota, that do a lot of interstate commerce, or not interstate, international commerce between the U.S. and Canada, those states are where this is going to be felt the most if a deal between Canada and the U.S. falls apart.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.